My brother-in-law uninvited my wife to the wedding, so I stole her gift back.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want me at the wedding, I don't need to give you a gift then, right?
My wife, Lena, crochets a lot and often gifts it to friends and family. When her second oldest brother got married, she made the bride a shawl to wear over her dress in the evening. The bride loved it, and ever since, Lena has made shawls for everyone in her family getting married. By the way, this comes from Wedding Shawl, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, now Lena's oldest brother, George, is getting married again. Lena doesn't have a relationship with George as he was awful to her as a child, but if she has to see him, then she is polite but distant with him. She doesn't want to cut off the rest of her family because of George. I work with George, and while we aren't friends, we are friendly at work. Lena encouraged this. When George got moved to my team, I was going to request a transfer, not wanting to expose Lena to George, as my team do a lot of get-togethers with our significant others. As it is a family wedding, Lena's mom asked her if she could crochet a shawl for George's fiance, and Lena agreed. Oh. It was arranged that once it was finished, I would take it to work to give it to George so that Lena didn't have to see him. I don't know if I would agree to make a shawl if I really did not get along with this person and I couldn't even give them the present.
Yeah, like, get some sort of credit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. Maybe her perspective is like, oh, like, I'm doing this for this person so that, like, they can give this as a gift or something like that. But yeah. It'd just be weird.
Earlier this week, the shawl was completed, and I emailed George at work to let him know that I would bring it in today, as the wedding is tomorrow. When I got into work this morning, I gave George the shawl and let him know that Lena and I were looking forward to the wedding. Come lunchtime, Lena called me to let me know that George's fiance had called her and told her that she was no longer invited to the wedding.
What?
Citing the place they're having the wedding and the reception at is too small for the number they have coming. So they're having to make cutbacks. However,
I had to lay you off. Sorry.
However, I was still invited to the wedding.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. Yeah, no, you're not getting a shawl.
No.
You're not getting a shawl. We're saving that for someone else. Next wedding. That's ridiculous.
Sorry, like I'm sorry, my schedule is too small to make this for you.
Yeah, my shawl can't make it to the wedding either.
Yeah.
I was mad at this because they clearly only invited Lena to get a shawl, which to me is just rude. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they had asked Lena outright to make one, she probably would have done it because she loves to crochet. On my way out of work, I noticed George wasn't at his desk, but the shawl was.
Perfect timing.
I was still mad that they had used Lena to get a shawl, and I just shoved it in my work bag.
There you go.
I left a note on his desk telling George since Lena was no longer invited, the shawl and I would no longer be attending either.
Boom.
On my way home, I told Lena what I had done and asked her if she wanted to go out instead so as not to waste having a sitter. Lena was upset that I had taken the shawl as it was causing an uproar in her family group chat where people were calling her petty because I took it back. Lena wants me to give it back. I don't think I should. They don't deserve Lena's kindness. However, at the same time, I don't want Lena to be upset with me over George and a shawl. Am I the a-hole for taking back the shawl? And little edit, I have messaged the group chat letting them know that I took it. And if they should be pissed at anyone, then it should be me. But I would also do it again because no one gets to be a wiener to Lena. And there is an update.
Yeah.
But what do you think?
I think you should talk to Lena, see what she thinks about this whole situation.
Yeah.
See if she, she
seems like she wants him to give it back. And I think she made it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I don't think you're the a-hole.
It kind of didn't really, I don't know if we got that perspective from Lena, right?
Yeah, he talked to her and she said, can you give it back? My whole family's getting mad at me.
I see. I got those names mixed up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess.
I think you gotta give it back just because your partner said, please do that. And also, she made it and spent all this time.
Yeah.
However, you're not the a-hole for taking it.
Yeah.
And I would do it again too.
Right.
They suck. And they don't deserve that. So everyone will be glad to know that I have not given George back the shawl.
Nice.
I mean, part of the reason I haven't given it back is because he's on his honeymoon. I hope it has rained for the 2 weeks. But even if he wasn't, I still wouldn't give it back. Later that evening, Lena apologized for being mad at me. She said that she should have never agreed to make the shawl in the first place and was grateful I had taken it back.
There we go.
Lena and I had a long discussion about her family and how they treat her. I told her that I would always stand up for her when it comes to her family because I will stand strong when she can't.
Aww.
I asked her what she thought about going lower contact. We were already low contact with George, his now wife, and her mom. Lena said that she wanted to go no contact with George, his wife, her mom, and to go low contact with everyone else but her second oldest brother and his wife. We'll call them Michael and Sarah. She said she wanted to do this because of how toxic the group chat has become, which she has now left and has shown me that she has left and deleted the chat. We have both blocked everyone but Michael and Sarah. I'm going to wait a couple of weeks before I broach therapy for Lena again. I just want the dust to settle a bit, as I don't want her to feel pushed into anything. The story the wife gave Lena about there not being enough space was BS. Michael confirmed that George had told him weeks ago that they were well under the numbers for their venue. It was just a crap attempt at a power move.
Dang, man. Because it was also like they uninvited her from the wedding like right before the wedding.
Yeah.
Right? Like she already had a sitter and like what? Like why? Why would you do that?
They just suck.
Yeah.
They suck. I know some Redditors were concerned about my work life after I took the shawl. I spoke with my manager and told him that Lena had made a shawl for George's wife, but they had given a crap reason for uninviting her to the wedding the day before the wedding, and I took it back. When I told my manager this, he sighed heavily before telling me that he wished I hadn't taken the shawl because George could make things difficult for me, but that he would have done exactly the same thing because George is a nightmare.
Well,
I told him that I'd like to move to another team because it wasn't good for Lena to have to be around him. He told me to leave it with him and he could see what he could do. I'd have moved when George was first put on my team, but Lena encouraged me not to, as she didn't want me to rock the boat with her family. I heard back on Monday that I will be getting moved to another team at the end of the week. This other team is desperate for someone, so when my manager reached out to other managers to see if anyone had an internal vacancy, this manager bit his arm off. The day of the wedding, Michael called Lena and asked what our plans had been for the day. Michael knew that Lena wasn't invited to the wedding and rightly assumed I wouldn't go if she wasn't welcome. Lena told him that we had planned to go out for dinner and drinks. Michael told her that sounded like a plan and to text him where we were going for dinner. Nice. Michael and Sarah had decided to skip the wedding after seeing the meltdown of George, his wife, and their mom in the group chat. Apparently, they continued spouting abuse at Lena even though she had left the group chat.
Oh my gosh.
When the family turned on me and our children was when Michael and Sarah decided they weren't going to the wedding at all. They were just going to go to the ceremony after Lena had been uninvited. They messaged George to tell them their flight had been delayed and they wouldn't be able to make it. Their flight wasn't delayed, it was just the excuse they used, and George never responded. Michael had seen George's abuse of Lena firsthand. He had tried to protect Lena where he could, but there was only so much he could do as a child himself, and he didn't want to be on the receiving end of George's temper either. As an adult, he took the first chance he had to move away from his family while only maintaining contact with Lena. So we went out with Michael and Sarah, having a much better night than we would have done at the wedding. There were no snide comments, no belittling, nothing. Lena was happy as she got to see Sarah, and that was what she was looking forward to. Lena being happy was all I wanted. It's all I ever want. My family to be happy. Aww. Hope he's just looking out for his wife.
Yeah.
This is so cute.
This is so sweet.
I love this.
Yeah, I'm glad that people understand that George is not a pleasant person to be around.
Yeah, I'm glad that it's not just you. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Other people recognize that he sucks.
Right. And the boss recognizing that too is great.
Important.
Yeah.
Both Michael and Sarah's phones did keep going off all night as mother-in-law and George kept messaging them, angry at their non-attendance, especially after Michael posted a picture of the four of us together having drinks on Facebook with a caption about how he was choosing Lena over George going forward because she doesn't use people to get what they want like George did over a crochet shawl. Dang. He posted that on Facebook?
Nice.
Michael admitted to me later that he did this to anger George because he'd have a meltdown at the reception and then his in-laws could see what a butt he actually is.
Wow. That's like I get behind that scheme.
Yeah.
Usually I don't really like care for the schemes where it's just like, oh, I'm gonna do this so this person reacts. But that actually like it set him up perfectly for for like, oh yeah, now you're gonna have to do this in front of everyone. They'll all understand.
Man.
And it worked.
And it worked. Given the gleeful messages I got from Michael last week after he had heard back from a cousin who attended, George had a complete meltdown. Lena knows about this post, but she's not comfortable with me posting pictures of her work. She considered unraveling the shawl, but she found it too difficult to undo all her hard work, which I understand. It's the very reason I didn't unravel it myself and tell George it was an IKEA shawl. Well, that, and I didn't want to face a mad Lena. After talking with Sarah about what to do with it, she has decided that she's going to keep it, but she'll dye it.
There you go.
Michael suggested that she wears it to the family Christmas. We aren't going to see Lena's family at Christmas, so it won't be happening anyway.
That's funny.
By the way, you know what is happening? Full episodes with stories just like this, and you can go listen to them on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio if you just search up OK Storytime.
Do it.
But there is a little bit left to this story. Any final thoughts?
I think this is great.
I think this is great.
This is great.
I'm very pleased about this.
Yeah. Me
You
too.
guys figure,
I've got no notes.
you got Michael and Sarah, and that's all you need. Michael and Sarah, and you guys against the world.
You just have Michael, Sarah, and that's all.
Michael, Sarah.
That's all you need.
Michael and I are at the same level of pettiness as I had previously suggested, as some people commented on my original post, that I could wear it to work when George is back. Nice. I didn't show Lena many of the comments. She doesn't need to know that people are calling her a doormat or saying she needs to grow a spine. Those people clearly haven't had their spirit completely broken by the people who are meant to love them unconditionally, or were completely cut out of the family events. When George graduated from uni, Lena was left at home. She was 8 years old and left home alone all day. Christmas was spent mostly in her bedroom because her grandmother didn't want Lena around,
Oh my God.
as her presence would just upset George
Oh my God.
until she was 14. Then she would sneak out and spend it with me and my family. Lena was just left out of everything. Her dad used to work away from home a lot, so he had no idea what was going on. He just assumed Lena liked her own space. Not that she would just stay in her room because she was used to being neglected by her family. And that's the end of that story.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah. I'm glad that Lena has kind of stood up to her family
Yeah,
anyway,
absolutely.
and has decided that she doesn't need to contact these people anymore.
No.
Because that sounds like terrible things that they did to her. So
Yeah, and props to OP
Let her
for
off.
standing by her this whole time.
yeah, and that was so weird. I think I forgot that they were married. For some reason,
Yeah.
I thought that OP was they were just friends at first. But yeah, the fact that Lena got uninvited and he
OP,
was invited.
Yeah, Lena,
Yeah,
George's sister, got
Yeah.
uninvited
yeah,
in favor of his sister's husband.
right. Like the own family
Yeah.
is not invited yet. That's just
Strange.
so insane.
Strange.
My wife's ex is being pushy and it's weirding me out.
Push him back.
I, 38 male, love my wife, 37 female, to the ends of time. She's the best thing that ever happened to me, and she's thoughtful regarding my feelings. I also try my best to be thoughtful with her and not controlling or negative. By the way, this comes from Throwing Me, Throwing You, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So, when we first met, my wife was in the tail end of a relationship with a guy she'd dated for a couple years. According to her, he avoided spicy sleep with her and often sent mixed signals, but in general seemed to keep her at arm's length. They apparently never slept together. And when they would kiss at the end of a date, it was not romantic or passionate, just a peck. When we first met, she was still dating him, and this caused me some jealousy, but we relatively soon became exclusive. Interesting. She took a while to tell him, which caused me some hurt feelings at the time, but I did my best not to pressure her. I think she just felt awkward. When she did tell him and broke up with him, they had not seen each other for some time anyway. He apparently took it in stride and seemed to not care. Her ex is an interesting guy who runs his own fringe publishing business, which he originally started in order to publish his own books. Books themselves are not very good. Although I'm not a professional author myself, I do think I'm a fair judge on this, and they also have a near zero circulation. But he projects success, and in the past infected her with dreams of stardom. Support your dreams.
He is an author.
Yeah. So if your wife has dreams of stardom, support her. Come on. It seems he's always pitching scripts to some famous movie house or person, and a blockbuster movie deal is always around the corner. In my personal opinion, no one in their right mind would make a movie based on his books, as they're highly derivative and not very interesting, and he's basically been in a seeming holding pattern for 10 years now. The books and movie deals seem like a bit of a pipe dream to me, but people can of course be forgiven for having pipe dreams. My wife's ex in the past year has tried to get her to go on a day trip to a remote wilderness location with him alone, and is always trying to get her to do things related to his publishing business for free. She has in the past helped him by doing some unpaid editing, but this over the past year has morphed into requests for voiceovers, etc. And most lately, a request to edit a screenplay for free. In the past, he has motivated her to do these things with vague promises that she can have a part in one of his unmade future movies and the like. He has also dangled the possibility of accompanying him on a trip to pitch one of his projects. Soon after we met, he did take her on a trip to see him accept a quasi-phony book award where he kissed her in front of his family and otherwise apparently treated her like a cold fish. I'm very confused about this whole situation.
I need time frame.
Yeah.
Because was this
Absolutely.
before you got, like, it seems like what we're getting at is that she went after you guys started dating.
Mm-hmm.
This is what, I don't know, maybe.
That's what I'm hearing too. Like, I feel like I'm understanding what OP is saying.
Like, we're understanding it, but like, does
But
that make sense?
I just don't know why this is happening. And I feel like what is happening is she never broke up, because he did she broke up with him, put that in quotes.
Yeah.
I feel like she didn't.
OP, are you the other guy?
I think so, because I feel like
that's what it sounds like and reads like.
Yeah, I feel like what she's doing is just like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, like we were in this relationship, but he treated me so bad and was like all this. So like, you know, don't feel bad about me cheating on him with you.
Like it's already over, but it's not over.
Yeah,
but it's already
like,
pretty much over. So like we can see each other.
right, but like he just doesn't know that yet. But it's over. When the wilderness day trip came up, I was torn. I didn't want her to feel pressured or to control her, but I wasn't comfortable either. I wound up telling her that, and she gently put him off. He wound up contacting her afterwards that she could change her mind at the last second, which I feel was a bit in poor taste. Recently, my wife's ex posted that she was to be actually doing the screenplay rewrite of his book, even though she hasn't agreed to it, and simply avoiding getting back to him. I told her that I thought she should just decline, because in the end, spending a bunch of time doing work for free that he could pay for isn't worth it. She hasn't contacted him about it. In addition, my wife's ex apparently claimed to receive a request from one of his authors that my wife serve as his publicist, even though my wife has never worked as a publicist. What? This feels to me like my wife's ex may be setting up to ask her to go on an unnecessary trip with him. I told my wife I didn't think she should agree to serve as a sham publicist where the ex would actually be doing the work, because it would be fraudulent. But I'm wondering how much of this is based on my dislike of the situation. I don't know. I mean, that seems still weird to me, and I'm not in your situation too, OP.
Hey, OP, why? Here's the funky part.
Yeah.
Why is she still in contact with her ex? One.
Yeah.
Two, why is she like, I guess I'll go. I guess I'll do these things with you. Why is she agreeing to these things? And three, why are you not setting boundaries? And I also feel like we had a time skip again. They met, and now she's his wife out of nowhere. There was like, where was? I need a time frame.
Like, how long have her and her wife like been working together after their relationship quote ended? Supposedly.
Yeah. I need, like, this is very weird.
This is very weird. Yeah.
How she's all corresponding to all these things that her supposed ex wants.
Yeah. Like, what? I'm never too much of a wuss to put my foot down, tell the guy to shove off, etc. And I'm in no way threatened by this guy. I don't want to come off as controlling with my wife, though. She sees him as harmless, and possibly in the past, he seemed to treat her as a romantic non-entity except when around his family. To me, especially now that we're married, that doesn't quite explain everything. I don't understand why he seems to want to impress her when they've broken up. Am I out of line for feeling weird about all of this? If the ex does invite her to another trip, I will probably tell her I'm not comfortable on the basis of him pushing the boundaries of good taste, not because I don't trust her, but am I being a wiener? And should I let this guy have his harmless daydreams and involve my wife this way? P.S. I trust my wife completely. There is no chance she is cheating with him or intends to. And there are some comments, but I don't trust your wife. We'll say that.
I don't trust this guy.
Comment number 1 says, what does she say about him? Does she think he's a pipe dreamer with unrealistic expectations of his success? Does she work in any slightly related field to publishing? Does she want to go on these trips? Lots of questions, because you've not mentioned what she thinks about any of this. OP responds, she's told me at times that she knows he won't hit it big and that she feels like he's not a very good writer, but that it's always nice to daydream and that she considers him harmless. She doesn't work in an even slightly related field. She didn't seem beaten up by not going on the wilderness thing, but did ask what I'd think if he hypothetically asked her to accompany him on a publishing-related trip. Hypothetically. I feel like he already invited her.
No is a perfect way of responding. I don't understand why it's so hard to say no.
Yeah, I would think that's weird. I think that's weird. I said I'd be uncomfortable, especially since the whole thing seems a bit of a sham. She says she likes his family and had fond memories of when she and his family would get together, and his family are also in publishing-related fields, so his family members might go on these trips. This is all just so suspicious. Like, it feels so backwards to read all this.
Yeah, okay, we're both, and we always get these, where it's like...
Yeah, right? It's like, huh?
Huh? What is that? What, narrator, OP, what are we doing?
Yeah.
There's I feel like everything's nonchalant, like, this all makes sense, right? I'm like,
right. Like, no.
2
no.
plus 2 equals 4, but 2 plus 2 minus 2 plus 8, and now we're at the answer, but we're missing context here.
It's like, we hear what you're saying. You're saying things very clearly.
We question it after every paragraph. It's like,
yeah.
So you said this is what's happening, and we're like, yeah.
Like, the fact that OP is just, like, confidently saying these things and just being like, yeah, this is, like, normal. That's, like, what she says. And not thinking that that's, like, a clear lie. Like, she's just really close to his family. Like, how many families of your exes are you still super close with?
None.
Yeah. Like, enough to still hang out with your ex and go on trips just because his family might be there.
Did they break up? I don't think they did. That's the thing. I don't think they broke up.
Crazy. He is too accepting of all of this.
OP, are you being played right now?
I absolutely think he is. My goodness. So someone responds, so when she hasn't been paid for, presumably, and the movies have not materialized, what does this make you think? That she's bored of broken promises and won't work for free? I don't think you even have a problem. She's not bothered about trips. She doesn't want to do things for him. She says he's harmless and possibly... what are you worried about exactly? Opie says she was ambivalent about editing his screenplay, but wasn't looking forward to the time drain. He didn't break any promises, he just made vague, grandiose predictions of future success in which she'd be included if it ever panned out. I'm not worried she'd cheat on me, but I don't like the pushiness and the continued attempts to impress her. It feels improper and like he should have given up by this point. Whether he has some sort of spicy sleep problem or a different orientation or not, he is to some degree pursuing her, or that's how it feels. Someone responds, he sounds like, for want of a better word, a loser, and null. I suppose it's slightly unusual that your wife still has any sort of friendship with him after all this time, but it really seems harmless. There is an update. So my wife's ex has now posted on social media again with a full face shot of her and another old one of her playing in a band, saying that she plays as a musician in multiple venues, getting some of the details wrong, and basically presenting her as a member of his business. He then commented with alter ego accounts, as he often does, saying how cool that is, etc. That's crazy. He's making fake accounts to comment on his own posts. That's wild.
This guy's a dreamer. That's for sure.
For sure.
I don't like this.
I don't like this. So we've got some selected history here. They used to date for a couple of years up to when she met me. They apparently didn't do much together and never slept together. I don't believe that. He has written a few pulp science fiction books and talks constantly of Hollywood stardom, which he's been doing apparently for 10 plus years. He presents himself as a major author, though apparently less than a couple of dozen people, including family members, have read his books. He has his own small publishing business, which seems to be a one-man shop, though it's hard to tell. He had my wife do some editing for him for free years ago, but still, I believe, presents her as a publicist, she isn't one, and submissions editor, posing as her via email, etc. He has multiple online accounts that he uses to puff up the apparent size of this business. He's told one author recently that she would be the publicist for his book. Again, she is not a publicist and never agreed to this. He's continued to pump her up with dreams of stardom since we've been together, including promising her a place in his movie to be produced by Peter Jackson, which will never happen. Saying,
this is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard. What is
so
going on?
wild.
This guy's a scam artist. Who is
Literally.
funding this, by the way?
So he'll also promise that he will take her on trips to promote whirlwind deals, etc. In reality, all that's happened is that he drove himself to a major city to drop off a script somewhere. It feels to me like he's stepping up contacts via Facebook. For example, he announced grandly recently that she would be finishing his screenplay that he was too emotionally invested in to edit. After rewriting the book several times over the 10 years and doing the screenplay himself. She never agreed to do this. And by the way, I hope you can agree to go find more full episodes of stories just like this one on your favorite podcast app, whether that's Spotify, iHeartRadio, or Apple Podcasts. Just search OK Storytime. You're going to find all of it there. But, oh my lord.
My brain cannot process.
Yeah, it feels like OP is like seeing all this stuff happen, but he's not actually like with his wife. Like it feels like he's hearing 5% of the story, and then we're getting 2% of that 5%.
Thank you.
Like,
that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like. Because she should, like, if she didn't agree to it, she should be mad, right?
Why? Yes, thank you. Why does she keep saying yes to all of these things?
I don't know. I don't get it. There is a little bit more. I hope we have answers.
We're probably gonna have more questions.
Yeah, it's what's gonna happen. Let's be realistic. So, I talked about this with her yesterday and this morning, telling her that I'm uncomfortable, but not because I think she'll cheat with him or anything like that. I feel like he's being inappropriate. She said she feels like it's normal behavior for him, but I told her that I didn't think that most people would find this normal behavior, and it's pushy in my opinion. She got defensive and huffed out of the house. Am I out of line? I deactivated Facebook, so this won't get my goat for now. I don't want to be unfair to my wife as I love her deeply. I just feel like I'm taking crazy pills since she doesn't see any of this as weird. I guess in the end, if she doesn't want to do anything about it, I don't really want to pressure her, but I do at least want to know what others would think or do in my place.
Okay, so
I'm taking crazy pills for sure.
Yeah, my wife might have cheated on me. I've seen the evidence.
I don't know if might is the right word here.
Digging never helped any relationship, and I, 27 male, I dug.
What a great way to start.
Thank you. I had my shovel ready. Not that I was looking for anything, but my wife, 30 female, my wife's Facebook was left open, and I was curious. There was a brief conversation with a guy over the course of about a week in June 2011. It starts off innocently, and she even tells him to text her if he can keep it nice. By the way, this comes from user randomtway01, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, I only have bits of the conversation, since I assume most of it went on in text messages. That's not a good sentence. You assume.
Yeah.
Don't assume.
Don't do that.
But what I do have is that after about 5 days of chatting with some guy she's never ever met in real life, telling him that she is soaking with the winky face.
Maybe she went to the pool and jumped in with her clothes on.
Hey, you're soaking. What does that mean?
Maybe she went to a water park and got the big bucket of water dumped on her.
Was this the Ice Bucket Challenge? No, Ice Bucket Challenge was like 2015. He replies, then have your boyfriend do something about it, LOL. She then tells him that she was just giving him what he wanted. This guy that she never had ever met in real life before and only connected with over Facebook. We went through a really dark period 2 years prior. Oh, we miscarried twins mid-2009. I'm so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Which caused her to have a serious depression, which is, again, reasonable.
Yeah.
And we had ups and downs for a long time. I thought maybe this was a time when she was depressed or angry with me, or I wasn't giving her enough attention. I checked our Facebook messages back around the same time frame. It was a very playful conversation. We lived, still do, together at the time, and I could tell that I was out of the town for the weekend visiting family. But our conversation including calling each other pet names, her telling me that she loves me. Why is it spelled that way? Very playful conversations with lots of LOLs back and forth. It looks like we were having a great night. A short tidbit, she messaged me. You scream, I scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Okay. Why is that relevant?
I compared the two time frames against each other, and she's having this conversation with me. This fun, intimate, and loving conversation with me, while she is telling another guy that she is soaking. It completely tears my heart out. It's 4:30 a.m., and I've been up all night since last night reading through all this stuff, and it's clear that she was the one pushing the naughty conversation and not him.
Yeah, because, I mean, when she would say something like that, I don't think she's at a water park for real. And the fact that the guy responded like, okay, have your boyfriend take care of that for you. Like, not me. That does kind of feel like, obviously, he's not just cutting contact with her, which is probably what he should do. But he is trying to be like, I don't really want that. Like, you figure that out yourself.
Yeah, and also the fact that you're snooping into, your partner's Facebook messages or any messages because you're curious. I mean, yes, it's bad, but that also means there's something wrong with your relationship.
Yeah, like if you had to get there to begin with, like what caused you to
It was just
look?
open. It was just like Facebook was open, and like I guess her account was logged in, and she was like, "Oh, messages. Let me." That's not. Let me look at her messages because that's totally okay.
Right, and then
Also,
that's always tough too because then like she can throw that back at him, and it's like, okay, well, now OP, you're not totally innocent in here. Obviously, what she's doing is worse, but like,
it's just like that's already breaking the grounds of where is your relationship stand if you're really uncomfortable on that part.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not calling you out, OP. That's just in general. That's just like, oh, I have to snoop through somebody's personal messages because why not?
Yeah, exactly.
I also found another conversation from January 2012 with a guy she had hooked up with before we were together, and she tells him that he makes her want to do naughty things because of how much she liked him in the past. Then she has to take a walk of shame to the shower because she regretted saying it. You still said it.
Yeah.
I could tell through the lead up that she was reluctant to say it, so I don't even know why she did. She still said it. In the 4 years since, we've had a wonderful 3-year-old daughter, gotten a dog, bought a house.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what to do. I have an appointment with a counselor on Friday that I will speak with about it. I don't feel like I can wait until Friday. If our daughter wasn't in the picture, we would be over right now.
Yeah.
This sucks because just hours ago, we were cuddled up on the couch together under the blankets while I was holding her in my arms for 45 minutes. We just talked and had a great and intimate conversation. I don't even recognize the woman who sent those messages to those other men. I don't have evidence that she actually cheated, since both of the other guys were in relationships at the time and shut it down real quick. So she didn't do anything with these men.
Yeah.
She messaged these men, and it was the thought. And if she had the opportunity, she would have.
Yeah.
If they said, yeah, sure, she would have.
Yeah.
So that's not, giving her like, oh, clean slate.
Right.
She tried to cheat. And in this case, she actually did cheat because she messaged other men.
Yeah.
Things that she should only be messaging you about.
Exactly. It's like, sure. I mean, like, physically, yeah, maybe she didn't do anything of that. You don't have evidence of that. But, like, that doesn't mean that you can only be upset about, like, if she crossed that line, Because, like you said, she's spicy texting these people. I think that would be considered cheating.
Definitely cheating.
Yeah. Easy.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That is cheating, OP.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe some people out there could be like, that's not.
Right.
To us.
Yeah.
I think we both agree that's cheating.
Exactly. Even if it wasn't, you don't have to be okay with it.
Yeah. But it makes me wonder, how many other times did someone else go along with it that I don't know about? I can't even think straight. And we have an update. I'm going to go straight into it.
Go into it.
Yesterday started off horribly.
Oh, no.
I got 3 hours of sleep, if that, and wasn't able to eat anything at all day. I still haven't eaten as of Monday night dinner. Get some food. I know it's hard.
Yeah.
While I was picking my daughter up from school yesterday, while I was at the doctor, I took my daughter by the paternity testing clinic. Oh, boy.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Oh boy, yeah. So I took my daughter by
Oh
the
my gosh,
paternity
because the
testing
daughter's
clinic.
3 and that was 4 years ago.
Oh, oh boy, yeah. This
Oh.
is I ooh, fingers
Oh.
crossed. So I took my daughter by the paternity testing clinic. I lined up the dates. She told the second guy that she wanted to do naughty stuff with him 9 months and 3 days before my daughter was
Stop
born.
it.
My daughter is the spitting image of me, so I'm not too worried about it.
Oh, well, okay.
Okay, okay. After I got off work at 5, I had to apologize to my boss for being down the whole day. I went to our other house. You have another house? Why do you have 2
Dang,
houses?
All right, drop some lore there.
We are in the process of moving into a new house. Oh, okay. Not all of our stuff is out of the old one yet. Our memory keepsakes are still at the old house. I grabbed everything out of the box of things she had given me from the time frame of the conversations. It hurt. A lot.
Aw.
Stuck them in my trunk. I had the intention of waiting until Friday after I'd spoken with my counselor, but I just couldn't wait. You can tell something was off the minute I walked in the door. I also grabbed an adult soda after work to try and make the night easier. I just couldn't play a charade. I didn't want to speak or even look at her, and she could tell. When she asked what was making me so grumpy, I just told her we would talk after our daughter went to sleep. I filled the time from getting home to her going to sleep with random errands just so I wouldn't have to look at her. I ran to the market, came back, ran to get some fast food, took a shower, etc. Once her daughter was asleep, she said, "All right, let's get this griping over with," in a joking manner, like it was going to be a high charge on the credit card or something like that. I told her that how this night went depended on her complete honesty to me and to God, and she agreed. I asked her how many people she had slept with since we had been together. None, she says. I asked her how many people she had sent explicit photos to since we had been together. None, she says. I asked her how many people she had had inappropriate conversations with. She hesitated on this one and said, none. It was a disappointing answer.
Yeah.
Well then, OP, you got your answer. I then went on to read her our entire goofy, loving conversation from that night and asked her if it meant anything to her and if she remembered it. She didn't. I told her to keep the date and time of the conversation in mind, June 7th, 2011. Then, I pulled the picture of her conversation with the other guy at the exact same time and handed her my phone. Her face went white, shoulders drooped, and she said, "I don't even remember this, honestly," in a somewhat down fashion. Then I pulled the other conversation she had with the other guy about him making her want to do naughty things and showed her it. I told her I had a difficult time believing that she didn't remember that one since it went on for 6 months.
Woo.
It started innocent for the first few months, so I didn't really care. It was about 4 months in that it started getting inappropriate. So, how do you think she's going to respond?
Oh my gosh. I feel like it'll just be basic cheater responses of just like,
No,
oh my
you
gosh.
went through my phone. You can't do that.
Yeah, that. And then just being like, oh my, like it meant nothing. Like, I don't know. I don't even remember. So clearly it
We
didn't
have a
mean
kid
anything.
together. Like, I
Yeah.
love you.
Like, why is this a problem? Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly don't even remember what she replied with.
Dang it.
He's good at remembering everything else.
Right.
By this time, my anger was just building and building. I went out to my truck and got all of our memories from that time frame. Every note she wrote, every gift she gave me, we went through it all. I read all of what she wrote, her telling me she loved me, what a great boyfriend I was, how she couldn't wait to spend her life with me, etc. It hurt so much reading those notes. By the end of the notes, I was yelling. Oh, man. I know you're very angry, but you don't want to yell. You don't want to
Yeah.
keep your composure, and especially in this moment. I showed her specific ones. This one right here. You told me you loved me and wrote me this note 2 freaking days after you told another guy you were soaking.
Ugh. It's a gross descriptor.
Yeah. I don't remember what all I said. I don't remember what all she said. It was just a long blur of tears and yelling. I do remember asking how many of those things she got me were sincere, because I didn't understand how she could be saying such sweet things to me while turning
Yeah.
around and saying all those things to the other guys. She said they were all sincere and she did mean them, but I don't know. I won't even be able to look at them anymore without being reminded of what happened. I can't give details because I honestly don't remember them. It culminated in her getting angry about digging up the past, right? We called it.
Right.
Regretful that she said those things. She promised me over and over that she wasn't that person anymore, that she had changed after our daughter was born. I honestly do believe her on this, as I found no evidence to prove otherwise. Our daughter helped lift her out of depression and make her a happier person, so I truly believe these messages might have been due to the dark time in our life. She did bring this up and said that she was just looking for someone to talk to, for someone to distract her. I don't know. Your boyfriend? OP?
Yeah, maybe that would be a person to turn to help her.
Yes. Having a daughter with somebody still doesn't negate that you cheated on your partner.
Right. Or like hobbies or friends or something. Like
something. You wanted to rely on strange men on the internet?
Therapists. Like, yeah, come on.
I don't know. This is all a jumbled up paraphrase of what happened over the course of several hours. I thought getting it out in the open would make me feel better, but I still feel like crap. Yelling at her didn't help. The tears didn't help. Whatever consolation she had didn't help. It still hurts just as much, and I still can't sleep. I don't think I've ever been cut this deep. That's a hard rhyme.
That is, yeah. Keep that in mind, anyone that makes songs.
She said she would move out if that is what I wanted. I don't know what I want. I want the happiness we had back. I want her to have never sent us messages. Half of me wants to punt her to the curb, and the other half of me wants her to stay just so I get to see my daughter every day. And by the way, I want to see you every day. Listening to full episodes with stories just like this one, just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app and search up OK Storytime. We are at the funny number of 69 days.
69 days. 24 hours each day full of our content.
And it's just growing. So
exactly.
We have a little bit left. Let's go ahead and finish this story. I guess I will try to clear that up on Friday with my counselor. Good. I wish this had never happened. I wish she could have talked to me instead of the other guys. I don't know where to go from here. The love is gone. The trust is gone. And the first 2 to 3 years of us being together is now tarnished because I'll never 100% know what she has said to other people that I haven't seen. I don't even want the memories of us being together for those first years now. Oh, I guess I'll just take it one day at a time and see where it goes. If there had been any inkling of indiscretion after our daughter was born, that would have been the end. But with it being so long ago without any evidence after those messages, and believe me, I looked high and low, I just don't know. I don't want to blow up my entire life, but I don't want to feel this way forever. Any advice? So, and that is the end of that story. That we said our piece. Again, take it, you know, it's one of those things where you just can't rush this.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to be fixed over a day or even a month. This is going to be a thing between you and your partner and see how you feel. If you really think the trust is gone, you can no longer trust your partner, and you're going to be having that thought in the back of your head, I think you call it. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair to your partner as well, because yes, she cheated, but now you're like, every day you'd be thinking, did she cheat? What if this? What if that? It's the what if game, and that's going to eat at you more than it should.
Yeah.